There is no Emmanuel Mosley. He was playing at a Pro Bowl caliber level.
Yeah.
Charvarius Ward has been phenomenal fish opposite him.
Unbelievable.
Who would you like to see step in this game and just going forward? There's a number of options that they can go with, both on the roster and on the practice squad.
Yeah, so this game, I think they should stick with the trio that finished the game. In Deommodore, Lenoir, Womack, and of course Mooney Ward.
Yeah,
I do think one thing that was interesting is that they actually did move Deommodore, Lenoir outside and had Womack come in and fill in the slot. I thought maybe Womack was a little more naturally suited to playing on the outside just because of his frame. And, the one requirement to me to play corner on the outside in the NFL, I think if you listen to any NFL coach, any NFL personnel person, they'll tell you have to have speed. You cannot be a guy that the top receivers in the NFL can just run by. Because if you are, there's no way you're playing corner in the NFL. You have to be able to protect yourself from anybody beating you vertically first. And then there's so much into it with everything else. But you have to be able to stop a go ball. And I just like Womack's potential maybe a little bit more on the outside. I think he's maybe got a little more physical juice to him than Lenoir, though Lenoir has played very, very well over the last few weeks. He's played very aggressive, improved. Very clean. He's played awesome. So I don't want to sound like I'm down on him in any type of way. So I think they will go with that trio. But if you're looking for that ultimate replacement, they got to hope that Jason Verrett ACL comes back and Jason Verrett is Jason Verrett, because I think that a corner trio of Mooney Ward, Deommodore, Lenoir, and Sam Womack, while I think it can play well, I do think the Niners kind of go back into the playoffs with a similar position, with at kind of a similar spot at corner, except for the fact that I would probably say that, Womack is maybe a little better in man coverage than K'Wan Williams was, but certainly not the player against the run and in zone that K'Wan Williams was at this point. He might get there eventually. He's got a good chance. He's just a rookie. It happens. And then Lenoir is, I think, probably much better than where Ambry Thomas was last year, but he's not Emmanuel Mosley or Jason Verrett as good as he's playing. And so ultimately, I do think that replacement has to be Jason Verrett. I think it will be Jason Verrett. I was kind of on the Larry. This was my view of Jason Verrett before Emmanuel Mosley got hurt. I thought he was the ultimate world's greatest insurance policy. You have him practice. You don't really have to bring him off your IR. There's no expectations yet. He doesn't play special teams, and so there's no reason to activate him and all of that when your starting defense is kind of set. But he's the perfect insurance policy if someone goes down. And if no one goes down, then he just takes this season to get really healthy this offseason. If Emmanuel Mosley, which I still think remains likely that he's going to sign a big contract somewhere else, you then just re-sign Jason Verrett, who didn't play but rehabbed. You sign him to another one-year deal, and now he's your starting corner on the other side of Mooney Ward. So that's kind of my opinion of Verrett before this injury. Now I think that injury has kind of forced the timeline on the Niners a little bit, but that's who I would say.
I think Verrett is like an all-pro, Pro Bowl caliber player when healthy, even despite the injuries. The footwork, incredible. The intelligence, off the charts. The stop and start. I mean, he's got everything I'm looking for in a corner except for real size and obviously durability. But when he's ready to roll, I got total confidence, and I think they'll go with him. But then the question is, how long will he last? That's the ultimate question. So you don't want to burn through your kind of reserves of corners. And then you got Dante Johnson sitting there on the practice squad, who everybody knows is very dependable. And and I know if the Niners make the playoffs, they're going to be leaning on Dante Johnson.